Just checking I'm live. I've got that muted. I'm live. Okay, go back onto my other screen where I can pull all you lovely people up in chat. Good evening. What was it? Oh, ladles and gentle spoons. I had it all set up. You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm actually getting a bit of moobage going on here. I need to get rid of that. Good evening and welcome to what's becoming quite a regular sort of late evening, early morning lockdown live stream. Oh, hold on a minute. He's a minute for you. Where I build a wooden motorcycle kit by Ugears. Let's see if I can find the... Is there a picture on the front of all these destructions here? Just to let people know what I'm building. I'm building one of these things. Yeah. I got given it for a Christmas present a couple of years ago by my good friend and biker mate Chris. So this is part 3 of the build. So joining me already this evening, Lee Eagles was in first straight away with Smooth. Fraser Green's in, giving it Terry Man want a laugh. Right, okay. Yeah, I'll have a laugh. Lee's going, the wood kits are getting very popular now. It's the first time I've seen one, had one. I've never bought one. As I say, it was gifted to me. You know how slow I'm at building kits. It was gifted to me 2 years ago by a good buddy and biker mate, Chris. And his good lady for Christmas. Right, okay, so, right, I've got to do this first. Right, I've done that. So I'm all set up now. Just seeing who pops in. Check my Facebook inbox in a minute. Right, I'll probably look at that after the show then, mate, because I've got about 15 windows open at the moment, and I don't think, yeah, you want to crash a live feed? I'll have a laugh at it later after the show. So yeah, I hope everyone is well. Obviously, I think next week they are releasing some of the lockdown measures in Scotland, but I will still have to be isolating, unfortunately. I've deliberately, and I've just broke my glasses, been deliberately tufting my hair up. My glasses are still broken. Oh, they never fell apart. I've got Tamiya tape holding them together because I can't get to an optician's. So I'm still self-isolating because I'm in a high-risk group. So, yeah. So, mind I was saying I was going to get rid of all this bed and all that, and I'd ordered shelves up. They actually appeared the other morning, so I've got a lot of stuff to do. So, I've got my ciggies. I've got my Coca-Cola. Well, there might be a little extra in the Coca-Cola tonight because it is Friday, but I'm not telling you. So I don't know what the weather's been like where you guys are today, but it was absolutely mental. I've been self-isolating, obviously to get my groceries and things in. My local co-op has got an app, and it's called Snappy Shopper, and it's like the 4 local ones. They're doing deliveries, but it doesn't give you a full co-op range of stuff, but you can get your bread, milk, eggs, booze, juice, crisps, all that sort of stuff. So I got up and I thought I could do with going out on the bike and doing an essential travel to go and get some messages. It was blowing a hoolie, as they would call it. Yes, it was extremely windy. I don't know what was gusting at, but I think I would have the knee down in a straight line if I went out on the bike. And then all of a sudden, the heavens opened. It was like golf ball-sized bits of rain. So pretty much, if it had been a bit warmer, it would have been tops off. So yeah, it was a horrible day. And then I thought, I've just put an order into the co-op, and some lassie or guy is going to have to deliver in this appalling weather. And so I think the delivery arrived about 8 o'clock tonight because I was late getting up today. I don't set an alarm during this lockdown thing. Every day is pretty much the same. And luckily it was dry, so dropped off the step, rattled the door, went down. Yeah, everyone's there. Looked across and she's like, "Oh, hiya." I went, "Oh, hiya." I says, "You didn't get wet earlier on in that rain." "Yeah, I was out in it." I was like, "Oh, bloody hell." So nice for everybody coming in. Plastic Monkey's in. How you doing, Paul? Pretty windy and dreich. Yeah. Oh, Ken Sturrock's in. How you doing, Ken? I'm just waiting for a few to come in. I will tell you, if you've been following the past two, I solved the elastic band problem. Thanks to Royal Mail, I managed to fix my elastic band problem. I will stress that I do wish they actually gave an elastic band the right size in the kit, but I can do that in a sum up at the end as feedback. But yeah, so for those that haven't watched or have watched bits of it and wondered where I got to, I've got all the V4 engine in. I've got the drive shaft train in, the stand in, and the bit that I had problem, you might just see the red elastic band. There's a cam mechanism there, and it's to do with when you wind it up for it to whoosh away. So I did solve that earlier. Now, when super glue first came out, I was led to believe, I think the advert showed you it gluing 2 bits of an elastic band together. Now, I don't know if my super glue's off or it's just the wrong type of rubber, but this is the size that you want to get the band to. Okay? Now, this isn't super glue, it's glued it together. This is the size they want you to get to, but the ones that they supply are that size, a lot bigger. So it would be a lot easier for Ugears to supply you an elastic band that size without having to tie knots in it. So the problem I was having was I would use a little jig that they supply and tie the knot in it, yeah, and then cut off the excess rubber band. But as soon as you put any strain on it, the rubber band would just slip through the knot and it didn't work. So I thought, I'll use a jig, cut it to size, and super glue the ends together. Super glue didn't touch it. I actually had to use, where's the stuff? I've got it here somewhere. I was using it earlier. I thought I would try some of my trusty GS Hypo, which has glued it together. But I don't know if it's taking the tension okay. So I rummaged through my stock of elastic band. You know when the postman comes in the morning and he's got all the elastic bands and everything through, and it takes them off the envelopes and he just leaves you the rubber bands on your doorstep. So he left me this little red one, which I could tie a knot in and it gripped. So I have managed to solve the elastic band problem, which stopped me putting the 2 halves of the frame together. If you watched the one last night, I also did, this is the Ratchet type gear that we use for winding up the elastic band, and there's I made up the little gear cogs on the outside, so ready for the 2 parts of the frame to go together, but I couldn't do that until I fixed the elastic band. And I'd started on all the little pieces that you hammer in together to do the fuel tank. So pleased to announce, because I've got that rubber band thing done, I can now go back a few stages, and hopefully this evening I will get both halves of the frame together and carry on with the tank. So, but before that, I'm just going to catch up with everybody in chat, see how your week's been going. What have you got? Apparently it's a bank holiday weekend. I've seen some interesting clips of lots of people double parking on double yellow lines and a nightmare and all that sort of stuff. How's it all going for you guys? Catch up. Do a wee catch up first, and then I'll go to the bench and we shall carry on with the build. So Lego's going, "You're a Scotsman." Okay. Hi Terry. Obviously another mod in. John Gordon's alive. The GB's Model Zone. How you doing? Yeah, Fraser's getting at the Gordons alive. And Ken saying super glue's too hard, too brittle, no flex. Yeah, but I thought we just stuck an elastic band together, and I tried 2 types. Now, here's a question for you guys. Super glue can go off, but the 2 glues I tried were the Zap ones, and neither of them would glue a elastic band together. So either I'm not remembering correctly from my youth. I'm just finding somewhere to put these now. Give me a second. I always remember when for my American viewers, when I'm talking about super glue, I'm talking about cyanacrylate. Is that the right one? Cyanacrylate glue, super glue. The adverts when it first came out, this new super glue that army medics had been using for years to glue wounds together, we'd glue rubber bands together, and it doesn't glue those. So there you go. So Lee's the same as yesterday. Oh, that's a shame. By the way, anybody that's popped across on this feed, I'm a model maker and I dabble in electronics, and I'm building a wooden kit at the moment. If you're not looking at the main YouTube feed page, go to the main YouTube page and you can join in the chat. It's quite friendly. We have a bit of a laugh. Obviously, it's after the watershed, so a little bit of adult orientated humour. Don't be scared to speak up. If you've got any questions on that, and I know the answer, I do know there's a couple of people in the chat that can also help with answering questions model making related. Feel free to post up any questions. Luckily, we haven't started on food yet. Now, I've probably tempted fate, because normally we're all talking about what we had for our dinner by now. I had some pepperami. It's a bit of an animal, apparently. So Lee, same as yesterday. Fraser, basically same stuff, different day. Yeah, same shit, different day. It is pretty much. Why are you going about Nutella? I haven't had Nutella for 2.5 weeks now. I've been a good boy. But it's very moorish. Nutella's very moorish. So I'm just going to finish this ciggy whilst I'm chatting. I was just looking at this StreamYard thing is the only thing that I can get to work at the moment with my YouTube. I can't even go in on a basic stream now. I've forgotten how to do it. They've changed everything. Because episode 1 was episode 1, part 1, attempt 2, attempt 3. We got there. So cheers, Slangivar. It's Friday, folks. Hopefully the weather's supposed to pick up over the weekend. But my phone beeped about an hour ago with a severe weather warning for tomorrow. So I'm like, good. Right, so that's the ciggy out the way. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in to my inane drivel. Hopefully keep you all company. What's Lee got? A JD and Coke. Good man. Just to remind you, these silly T-shirts, like, because I've been working with super glue and it's saying gluing things to your face since 2017, they are available from a Teespring store. Ta-ting! The link is available in the About section down below, but you don't have to. It's just something that keeps it going. Right. Fraser actually has a modelling question, so I might as well get onto that. When you were painting your Space Marines, did you leave the guns off their hands? Yes, I did. Especially in the ones where the weapon crosses across the body. I have some sitting. Give me a second, I'll just take my glasses off to stop them falling off. And I'll rummage in the corner because I think that's where the unpainted Space Marines are. Space Marines, where are you, Space Marines? Oh, that's a motorbike. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, there's some. There we go. Knocking everything over. Here are some Space Marines. Fraser's into his Warhammer stuff. Right, okay, yeah. I've got a perfect example here. Right. And he's obviously going to be because it's got new employment. Excuse me a second while I just prepare myself. I need to get my glasses back on. I might be better going to the bench camera for this. As I say, this is a wooden bike build, but I don't mind questions and stuff about modelling. You bought a box of Marines and had trouble getting the heavy weapon guy's gun arm to stay on because of the gap in the shoulder. What glue are you using would be the first question. I use 3 glues. I use Tamiya extra thin. It's quick acting and it's a hot glue, so it kind of melts stuff a bit. Obviously, if you file and sand it the best you can so that they match up, that's one way, but it doesn't fill gaps. Not in that particular plastic. You can do it on thin stuff where you can squeeze it and it oozes out, but it doesn't fill gaps. So that's one kind of glue. The other glue I've got is the standard Tamiya extra thin. It's not as quick acting as the extra thin. Again, it works on a similar principle. My favourite for filling gaps is the Tamiya white top. Right, the stuff in the blue tub with the yellow lid and needle tip. You're probably talking about Revell Contactor or something like that. It's similar to that, actually, the white glue. That fills gaps, but it doesn't stick instantly. So what I tend to do is I put that on, right, because it'll squish out and fill the gaps, and then run some extra thin over it, round the outside. It cures it quicker. Failing that, you can use smooth or sprue glue, smooth, which is basically, see all the plastic that you cut off the sprues. You're left with stuff like that, which is the kit's own plastic. If you have an empty glue bottle, take the plastic that comes with the kit, because that's the best thing to fill the kit with, and some Tamiya extra thin cement. Cut all the wee bits up really small, and then pour some Tamiya extra thin into it, and agitate it every now and again with a metal stirrer or whatever. And what you basically make up is semi-melted styrene, the same stuff that the kit's made out of, that's been basically liquidized slightly with the extra thin glue. And you can apply that on. I've not used this for a while, so it might need, you want it to have the consistency of Tipex. Yeah, you put that on, it fills all the gaps, but because it's made of the same plastic as the kit and it's got extra thin glue in it, it dries really quick, and when you sand it back, you're sanding back plastic, you're not sanding back filler. So that's kind of the system I've got. So the main glues I use is homemade smooth glue, which is made out of the sprue that comes with the kit, doesn't matter about the colour, mixed with Tamiya extra thin cement, okay, which is getting very hard to get in the UK now because of the lockdown. So if you see anywhere that you can get the Tamiya extra thin, get yourself a couple of bottles. But I basically use that. I like my Tamiya white because that also fills gaps. I've got my Tamiya extra thin, and then for the really quick bonded jobs that you really need it to grab, the extra thin. But the extra thin and the thin are hot glues. They will eat away at the plastic. They really bite into it. So hopefully that answers your question, Fraser. Failing that, if you actually want to fill a gap, stuff I like to use, hopefully I've got it in a drawer here. Is this a tube of the stuff that I like? Right, this stuff. Get yourself some of this. Perfect plastic putty. Now, the good thing about that is it's really, really fine and it's water soluble. So if you've got a gap, you can put a bit on your finger, rub it around the gap, right? Give it a couple of minutes to settle in, right? And wet your finger and smooth it off. It does shrink a little bit, but it's water soluble, so it's really easily sandable. So that's a good filler. That's kind of what I use. I'll go to my desk camera because you're asking about should you do your when you're doing the Warhammer figurines. I've got some that are I've kind of started. So I'll just go to the bench camera. If you give me 2 seconds, if I can get this working. Hopefully, guys, that's me on the bench camera. Can you see me on the bench camera? Hello. I'll just bring my chat back up so I can see what you are saying. Right, so this is for Fraser. So I've got 3 Space Marines here in base colours and various things that I've started off. So you will notice this guy has his base blue on, Fraser. Sorry, you don't get a brilliant thing with, but I mean, he's in his base blue. I've started on his flesh, but you'll notice that his weapon going across his chest is not there. So I can paint all his gold. Just to give you an idea, it's all right when you're doing like the sergeant guys, you know, whose arms are not across their chest. This is also a work in progress. It's not finished. But there are so many. There's a base one. It's only just had the base colours on, and I haven't put his weapon on. And basically, do all your painting so you can get all the chest, you know, like the gold and bronze chest and everything done. When that's done, you can glue the weapon on, and I would typically use Tamiya extra thin or Tamiya extra thin to glue the weapon in, and then once it's in, touch up any parts that are, you know, that the glues maybe into the paint or whatever. But that's, yeah, there's 3 that's in preparation that I've started doing a little bit of work on, but you'll notice I've got none of the weapons across their chest because of all these things have like really fine, like wee dots on the shoulders. Don't know if you'll be able to see it. These are not really very good. And there's a signal on his chest and all that sort of thing. You really need to be able to get in with fine detail brush to be able to do these. So, yeah. So to answer the question, leave the weapons off. So hopefully that's helped you. I'll come back onto my face again just for a second. Hopefully, young man, that has... let's see if I can get this working. Yay! Hobby Link International's in. Oh, thank you very much for taking the time to visit my little channel. I need to have a long chat with you. I mentioned it before about getting OBS to work with the new YouTube thing. I'm having to use a StreamYard thing, and I prefer OBS because it's got far more features. But I appreciate I haven't been back at the bench for a while. So it's really nice for you to pop in and say hello. Oh, the goo, you've heard of it, but you haven't seen it. All right, okay. Smooth goo. Oh, wait, this is in. Good evening. Water even wipes it away after it's dry, so be warned. I like milliput for big gaps. Yeah, if you've got a big gap to fill, you want something more sort of resin-based like milliput, which you put if I remember rightly, I haven't got milliput myself, but it's a bit like Bondo. You've got one part that you mix with X amount of part of another, and you mix it together, and then it cures for big gaps. But certainly for small, thin gaps, I like that perfect plastic putty. It's really good. So yeah, Kenny from Hobby Link International. You're not allowed to put links up, but I'll maybe try and do it later, Kenny. American gentleman who obviously has his own business as well, but he's got a cracking modeling site forum type thing. And he does live streams and giveaways. So what I do, Kenny, actually, if you PM me via Facebook Messenger with a link to your site, I can post it up in here, and anybody that's in here can pop along and join in. It's a great site, quite a lot of sci-fi. I mean, Kenny actually, he's in the middle of a house move at the moment. He's moving from his ranch and wherever it is to another ranch. He keeps posting up pictures of somebody sitting on a horse. I don't think it's him. So everybody's saying hello to Kenny. Yeah, Kenny's a lovely chap. The only problem is he's American, but yeah, he's lovely. OBS to StreamYard. Yeah, I just don't know how to get it to talk to YouTube at the moment. So I think I need to sit and have a little chat with you one night and a hangout, Kenny. I know we said we were going to do it a few months ago, but all this lockdown and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you're a damn Yank. Yeah. So I suppose we've done all the hellos and highs, and really nice for everybody popping in. Will I go to the bench and get the two halves of the bike together? Because I've got the elastic band thing sorted. Right, I'll do that. Once you're all set up, we'll get together. Yeah, that's great, Kenny. I'll appreciate that, because I do like this StreamYards, because it's basically like click this, click that, and the stream's formed. OBS is a bit like, yeah, I've got all my windows set up where I want the two windows, because I like the dual thing so that you can see me talking to you whilst I'm working at the bench. And I haven't had any takeaways for tea with us. I've actually managed to fork out on a couple of kits that I would never have dreamt of buying. Well, I've got one secured, the other one's still in negotiation. That'll all become apparent. But yeah, the lack of takeaways has saved me in isolation, and this sounds horrendous, about £400. So what's that, $480 or $450? I used to get a takeaway every night because I can't be arsed cooking. And I haven't had a takeaway since a week before lockdown. So, yeah, I've saved myself about £400. And there are a couple of kits out there that I have desired for quite a long time that I would never have dreamt of spending £400 on. So I thought to myself, well, why not? What else am I going to spend it on? Cigarettes, alcohol? Might as well get something, physical that I can say, I've got myself this, I've managed to save money, and this is what I've got to show for it. So I thought I would do that. Right, I'm going to go at the bench. As I say, I hope everyone is keeping well. So we're at the bench. Hello! I'll just get my chat back up. Ciggies or alcohol? Mate, are you sure you're Scottish? Well, I would actually, I'm a bad man. I would rather have a cigarette than food. That is how bad I am. And I would rather have a drink than, I don't know, pour salt in my eyes. Oh, Susan, Ice Queen, good evening, my darling. Did Paul give you the kiss on the inappropriate place I asked for earlier on? I hope he has. And if not, then obviously you're downstairs and he's upstairs. Right, so where we got to last time was pretty much the thing that was holding me back was the elastic band they supplied with the kit wouldn't work with this ratchet mechanism, which is for when you wind it up, it kind of locks it and goes click, 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 click. So I've got that sorted with an elastic band from the post office. Thank you very much, Royal Mail. V-twin engines in with a rotating crankshaft and the bobbly up and down pistons and all that. Excellent. So the next bit we'd done the last night was the other side of the frame, the ratchet gear. So basically, I've got to try and get these two bits together, and I'm just checking I've got the right part of the instructions here, so bear with me. Right, I need this part of the instructions. Okay. So we're going for a straightforward try and squeeze all this together. Do you think this will go well, guys, or do you think I'm going to be screaming? Let's see. Right. That's obviously got to go over there and over that. And yeah, okay. Oh, that's got to go into there. Oh, the elastic band's causing issues, that's what it is. And this has to hook into there before I squeeze it together. Okay, that's looking good so far. That cock and tail stick has to go into there. Oh, it's looking good. It's getting there. Bollocks. The carpet monster's just grabbed something, so give me a second. Oh, sorry for the grunts and the groans. I'm getting old. I'm getting too old to pick things up off the floor. There we go. That's a tricky bit. Right, glasses back on. Bollocky Buff saying good evening, Bollocky Buff. Evening, Smoothie. Actually, that sounds like somebody. There's a game I play, and she calls me Smoothie. What about a 1.6 motorcycle kit? All will be revealed, Lee. So, to introduce you to our mods, GB Model Zone is John, aka Gordon's Alive. So, if you want any decals, he's currently sitting on his throne of decals in his man cave. Ice Queen is Sue Shapland, lovely lady, big boobs, and apparently she makes a cracking roast Sunday dinner. And Plastic Monkey is Paul Shapland, her husband, who is going to slap me around the head. But there you go. Oh, we've definitely got the Friday night drinkers on. Wafers is saying, when you find a nice lass, but she has a carpet monster and you're more into a smoothie, I like a good growler myself, Wafers. So, yeah, carpet monster wouldn't bother me. Don't know if that's appropriate or not, but yeah, I don't mind a bit of a growler. I actually seen a... Any's watched that Naked Attraction thing on the TV where like the guy or the girl comes out and there's a load of folk in plastic cubicles and it lifts up and it shows you the bottom half and then the stuff like that. It lifted up and one lassie I had trimmed it into an arrow pointing down the way. I thought that was really quite cool. Her lady garden was well manicured. Right, let's see if we can get this bike together before I fall about in fits of laughter. You are all distracting me. It's shocking. But thank you very much, each and every one of you, for popping in. Right, okay, I think I've managed to... No, I've not. This is the awkward bit. This is supposed to be like... I've got to get over that dowel. Bear with me. There may be some swearing here. I've already pre-warned YouTube. Oh, that slid in quite nicely, said the actress to the bishop. Right, that needs to slide over that dowel. So there's quite a bit going on here. I've got to line up a few bits, and elastic bands are pulling things the wrong way. But it is coming together. You can possibly see that little red elastic band thing now. What's it? Hold on. What? John's retracted the message. I can actually see your retracted messages, mate. Bad man. Anyway, Sue's saying to leave her babies out of it. Well, you do have a fine pair. I have to give you that. God blessed you. And John saying, better than a smack in the mouth with a wet kipper. Yeah, I can see the conversation's going the right way this evening. Just because you're the moderator and can retract messages now. Is it moist? It's what moist? I don't mind moist boobies. If it's like baby oil or like whatever, but if it's sweaty and... Nah, I'm not into sweaty Betty. But yeah, that was funny that night, Kenny, when I came on. I think your missus was in the background, and I said the word moist, and she totally freaked. I don't know what it is about people in the word moist. Right, so we're trying to get this to go together. So this is stressed across because of the elastic band, so I need to try and get it in the hole, so to speak. Yeah, I can see me getting the hammer out. Oh, actually, that's sliding in. Ah, definitely an actress to the bishop one. That it's sliding in nicely. Right, I need to line up this a bit better, I think. It's just a little bit of gentle jiggery pokery. I think I'll need to hammer the back end together. Yeah, that sounded good as well. Right, mate, I need to hammer the back end together. Right. Front end's going together okay. Why am I holding a cocktail? I don't know. That needs to go into there. I definitely need to hammer that bit. So I'm going to take my jeweler's block. Right, I'm just going to catch up on the chat here because it's bouncing tonight. I do like that. It's a good laugh on a Friday night. Wayface is saying, I'm not sure it's a good idea to make oil out of babies. Okay. Obviously, John's going, welcome to Madhouse, Kenny. Okay, taking the wife out to get dinner. Hopefully you're still here when I get back. Usually about a 3-hour stream, Kenny. If not, have a great one and catch you soon. Thank you very much for popping your head in. Fraser's going, it's just like being at work. Jeff, thanks for popping your head in. The stream's usually about 3 hours, so yeah, might be on, mate. So the front ends managed to clip together quite well on this. But I do have these couple of... now this one's going to need a bit of fiddling, said Jimmy Savile, the classroom. Oh, God, my jokes are getting worse. I'll need to watch. Right, okay. That's near enough. It's quite difficult to get all the bits in the right place at the right time when you're sandwiching two parts together. So I'm going to go for... that one's not quite in line either. You're supposed to be able to just push stuff, but I've got a liking for using hammers, so I'm going to gently try and push stuff. If it looks like it's not going, I'm going to get the hammerage out. Right, that needs to go in, that needs to go in, and it's obviously more in at the front. This needs to go up a bit, actually. Ah, that's better. That kind of popped there. And then it's going to pop out again, is it? Oh, no, and then I've knocked one of my gears out. You know how much fun I had with them last night, so I might have to strip that. Yep, I've lost a gear tooth. We've got a casualty. Yeah, okay. That was to get there. Come on. That needs to come. This is where you need about 4 pairs of hands, I think. Oh, that's went into there. That's went into there. That needs to go in, and so does this. Try not to knock any more gear teeths. Oh, tooths. That's kind of in. Crankshaft's all right. That's lined up. That's all right there. That will comply. It's this back one. This back one's going to be a little... Ooh, dodgy stuff. Try to wiggle it. It's not having any of it. This is where it all breaks and Terry starts crying. Nah. It's not playing ball yet. Right, what are they saying? You have an easier time building a real bike. I probably would, actually. Oh, funny creaky noises. I think this is slightly... Ah! Oh! Has Terry found the magic bit of tweak? It is. It's like juggling. Definitely like juggling. Oh, 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 it's going. You hear all that creaking and cracking and... That's went in. This needs to go in a bit more. This needs to go in a bit more. Is that still turning? Yeah, it's a cam thing. All right, so that's a bit freer than I thought. That's in. That's in. Does the crankshaft still... It still turns, apart from they've went a bit... Okay. That's definitely together. That's definitely... Oh, so that actually works on there rather... Ah, right, okay. That's clever. Right. I believe I have got the two parts of the frame together. After holding my tongue at the right angle, I'm a bit wondering why this isn't moving as freely as it was. Because it's supposed to be wee pistons going up and down. Have I squeezed something a bit tight? Ah, it catches there. Ah, right, okay, I can see the issue. I need... The frame has clamped slightly tightly, or slightly tightly. Where is my... Oh, they're all in another bit. Wait a minute. I should have... Right. I'll use my tweezers. The crank is... Well, the side casing is slightly pinching on one of the things. So if I turn it now, are they going up and down? Yeah, kind of. Right, okay, we'll sort that later. But yeah, impressed. Frames together. I'm not going to turn this because I think this is what clicks and winds it up. That's fine. Kinda. Maybe. I'm glad I waxed all the bits. Ha! Said the actress of the visit. Right, okay. So we have a... And it is, it's a stand type device. Which I'm thinking that when you want to... What happens when you want to... You stick it in there? When you want to make the thing run, how do you... Is that what that is? That clips in? Ah, oh, there you go. That's quite complex. So when you actually want to ride it or wind it up and let it go, the center stand clips up into this awkward sort of mechanism here. And when you want to display it, you wiggle the stand out and then clip it into there. And Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. So there we go. Now, I lost a gear. Now, you know how awkward these were last night when I was trying to put these in. Let's see if it will go back in using the tool provided without too much grief. Now, I've been looking at these little funny V-shaped gears that I put in last night, and I was wondering, what the hell are they for? The small one and the large one, they grip smaller elastic bands, so they're gripping them in the V. So that's pretty cool. So for the moment, the frame is, both parts of the frame are together. Excellent. And last night I had started working on the petrol tank, which will sit a top said frame, like so. But there are a couple of bits I've still got to put on here, so I'm just going to check. Right, frames together. Right, I've got a couple of bits. Oh, I've got another one of those funny things to make up. And what? I've got to leave 2mm on this cocktail stick. On which one? This one. Really? Should I measure it? 2mm on a cocktail stick. Oh. Round about that long. Right, we're going to guesstimate it. All right. I'll cut it slightly proud, but I reckon that's a good 2mm. So that's that done. Dress it up with a That's near enough. That's floating, that's fine. Right, and what about this cocktail stick down here? That goes flush. So when it pins the frame together. It's gone. I'll catch up with the chat in a minute. I'm gonna actually try and get some model making done, but we'll see how we get on. You know, I'm like, oh look, a squirrel. Right, so they're trimmed off, that's trimmed off. Right, that's fine. So I've got to make up, oh, what's this? This is something on the end of the crankshaft. 53 and 53 is the first bit. So 53 sits on that big glass. 253s. And there they are there. Right, excellent. Where's my tool? Couple of 53s, so another little round bearing-like pieces. That's one out. And the other one. I'll just ease this for this side as well. There we go. That's the two. 53s, doesn't say anything about wax. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they go on after. Right, what's happening? I've skipped a page. Right, I've still got a build A1, which must be a page back. Yeah, it is. Right. I've got another one of these wee horrible wee gear things to do. 31. Which I think sits on one of these. That's 22. Is there anything else that looks like a gear? 22. Where's 31 then? Is there one on this little one? No. It does say 31. Have I used the wrong gear in the wrong place? Please don't tell me I have. What was the other one? Right, let's go catch up in chat. Quick call for Dr. Glue. I wouldn't wiggle it, it might fall off. Right, okay. If that was true, every little boy would be a unit. Right. That other gear was a 22. Okay. So I did use the right one. Oh, wait a minute. Have I used 20? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. 31 I'm looking for. No. $31. 31. I was looking at the wrong part. There's 70. Ah, right, okay. I didn't make a mistake, guys. I just had a total brain fart. Right, so there's 31. But that's not for that, but... Oh, wait a minute. Ah, but that shows that in there. So that's right. There's one of them, then one of them. You've got to make two of them. There you go. That's... Read the manual. RTFM. Read the fucking manual, Terry. So obviously this is going to be the primary drive. Oh, sorry, you can't see. A primary drive that goes on there when Elastic Bandit drives this one. Okay. Which means I need another 4 of those horrible little teeny tiny... Yeah. I've also got a fear that there's going to be more. It's a bit windy out. It's blowing a right gale out there. So we're supposed to have storms tomorrow. Excellent. Bank holiday weekend. Welcome to the storms, Terry. There we go. 4 tiny little gear teeth that I need to split up. This is all going to end well. Right, so that's that trimmed. Right, Carpet Monster, you're not getting any dinner tonight. There's one. I can see it being the same as last night where I had to file out the carrier for them to fit. There we go. Just catch up in the chat. Everybody's in. Oh my God, 16 people. 16 people who should really be doing something like going to the pub. I'm just going to sit and chat for a minute whilst I partake in a... There we go. Folk are going, go back to the bench cam. I don't want to see your ugly mug. Yeah. So normally on a Friday evening about this time, I think most people would be dancing or singing at the karaoke or something more than making a wooden kit go together. Don't be scared to say hello in the chat. There's obviously more people watching than there is in the chat. If you want to join the chat, make sure you're on the main YouTube page where the live chat is displayed. And I'm just going to chat to you guys whilst I'm cleaning up some of these parts because you don't really want to see me cleaning up every single part. So a lot of the people that tune in here have either come across me by accident, I wish, or are my model making buddies. So if you do make models, what's your current model that you're working on? Or did you just happen to drop in and go, who is this strange Scottish unshaven beardy bloke? Osric's in. Hello, chaps and chapettes. How you doing, Osric? Long time no see. I'm just filing little bits just now. You don't really need to see me sanding stuff down. Yeah, quite a few folk in. When do we all think this might get back to normal? I'm thinking sometime middle of next year. What are you guys thinking? What's Fraser saying? I'll be doing the same as I'm doing the new, chilling on my bed with a cat purring too damn loud. Used to have cats myself. They used to lie across my throat when I was sleeping. This sounds interesting. Wafers is currently working on a Kings of War diorama the size of a cutting board. Right, so, yeah, an A3 cutting board, yeah. Cleaning up soldiers. Oh. So what sort of scale is that in Wafers? Are you using 1/35 stuff? That really sounds interesting. Fraser found me through my 40k, but I've not done many Warhammer. I know Chris for Gross Models does his total Warhamster things on Sundays, but I've only really done No, I've not really done any videos in 40k. That I can remember anyway. I know I've done some. I've done, oh, is it a Rhino or a Razorback? I've done a Razorback. And I did a reveal on the Dreadnought, which Mike Mountain sent me. But I've not done any painting tutorials or anything. 28 mil, so that's pretty much Warhammer scale as well, isn't it? Got a bridge from Warlord Games. Oh, so it is pretty much Games Workshop stuff then, mate. Bridge from Warlord Games, and going to have a Chimera, making them leg it. The Chimera is one of the things I quite like is all the fantasy stuff. I know you get all the Space Marines and stuff like that, but there's the other branch off. Somebody can maybe tell me what it's called again from Games Workshop. Oh, I did unboxings of Space Marines. It's creeped up to 32, so they call it 28 Heroic, yeah. But they do like 4 different subgenres. They've got their Space Marines, and then they've got 2 or 3 other ones, and there's ones that have got like dragons and all that. I like all the dragons, but they're bloody expensive. That's right, Wafers. Forge Will's the resin half, but I've heard a lot of stories that people are a bit disappointed with the resin stuff. Sigma, top man, yeah, Sigma. I do like the Sigma stuff, but it's a bit out of my price range. Got beautiful dragons, and that one that you said, where was it? Oh, I can't even see it now. It's back in the chat. Yeah, but it's a Sigma Chimera. Is that a 2-headed thing? Like a 2-headed horse type thing? But I know kind of what you're on about. They've got some stunning casts. Forge World, Age of Sigma. Gary Pashley's in it. Good evening, Gary. I hope you're keeping well. Good to see you still with us, Terry, and doing the odd video. Hope you're keeping well. In good health, mate. I had, up until recently, been just struggling with the lockdown and depression and stuff, but I'm trying to get myself going, and you guys all popping in chat, and it's been fantastic. Mantic Games, not heard of them, releasing new big beasties. Some 3-headed dragon, bear, and a bird on the bears. Mantic Games. Oh, see, I just like a lot, not for playing the game, but the actual. I've always had the thing about dragons. I don't know if you can remember back. It's maybe an 80s thing. You used to get a lot of these pewter dragons with all the crystal and that in them. I used to think they were gorgeous and they were really expensive. So I like dragons. Got a thing about dragons. Maybe because I was married to one for 14 years, but I mean, you know. So a dragon, a bear, and a bird on a bear's body. That's a bit of a mix. So you've got one dragon head. Raoul Parther. Right. Oh, so that's who made them. Raoul Parther still sell their pewter dragons. Yeah. I don't know if it was just like a thing in the 80s where everybody had, you know, who had a bit of cash, you would walk into the house and on the mantelpiece was this beautiful pewter dragon and all that. I've always liked them. Right, I suppose I better get back to doing this. I've got a couple of bits I can sand whilst I'm sitting chatting. But I mean, even back then, you were like 80 quid for a decent pewter dragon. Definitely a talking point when you go into somebody's house and you've got one of these sitting there. So I'm basically just dressing up a couple of little parts. So what's your background in Wafis? You seem to know all the fantasy sort of manufacturers. I mean, I'd been away from modelling for a good 30 odd years before I started to take it up. Probably about 5 years ago now, I think. John Fajibi's Model Zone used to actually do resin casting and stuff, so he's probably got a better idea. He's saying Enchantica was who he used to work for doing the dragons. So it's not a genre I know a lot about. I just know I like the subject matter. The other subject matter that I like, and it's possibly through my I like playing MMORPG games. So yeah, you know, sad individuals that sit in their bedrooms sticking plastic together also like to play games usually. And I've always liked the Elf Archer class. So I've actually got one that I started in resin. It's just very unfinished. And I've never really done any sort of figurines before, but I've started on her. She's not that great, but I've started on her, and I'm working away on it. But I haven't touched that for months. So sorry, she's an Elf Archer figurine. So she's got a big cloak down the back. Oops. And a nice bow and stuff like that. So I'm dabbling in. I just got this thing about Elf Archers, but that's the only one I've managed to find. And if you look at some of these original sculpts and that, they go for silly money. But yeah, I need to get back onto that. I really enjoyed painting that. Used to have a joke with one of the guys that used to come on with a live crew and that about the flesh tones and all that sort of thing. So yeah, Ozric's got it, flesh tones. Yeah. So I do like my flesh tones in real life as well, but there's not much of that happening. Yeah, so I mean, I've actually got about. I'm trying to think. I've got one white metal character, female, obviously, possibly with a bit of nipple showing. And I've got. I think I've got the female stormtrooper. That's in resin. It's in, is it 80mm scale? So I've got those two. And I've got a pit girl who's showing a bit of flesh. But I've got an angel with wings, scantily clad, obviously, sitting on top of a pillar type thing, like a Roman pillar type thing. She's in resin as well. But until I get that one, the Elf Archer is the one that I really want to get done. Then I'll get onto those. It was Colin over at Festa 69's workshop that got me into the figurines. But I'm just trying to get back to the bench just now, and certainly this wooden kit is it's something that you can play about with and do whilst I love live feeds. I love chatting to all you folk, so it's something nice and simple. I don't think I could get into a detailed, 1/35th armor build and all the pre-shading and stuff on a live feed. You wouldn't get anything done. Yeah, figurines. Have I got the skills yet? No. Am I getting there with the wet palettes and blending? Yes. But we're all learning every day. Is Festa in tonight? I don't know, Lee. They have their own Sunday brunch thing, I think. He's got a different group of his own now. And obviously he does the emo pulse. He's an emo pulse builder now. So Wafer's going, I want to try and see you ride it when you're done. You know the first one about this bike. Yeah, it would need to be a bit bigger, I think, because I'm a bit of a I like my pies and crisps, and I'm trying to say I'm a total fat bastard like that. Right, I've almost got all the boring filing out the way. A couple more bits to do, and then we'll go back to the bench. Yeah. I don't do the sort of group live. Well, I haven't done a group live broadcast like Smoon Crew or Smoon Friends or anything for. I guess I'm trying to think now. Must be Christmassy time. I don't know. Maybe John or sure that could, I can't remember. Probably about Christmas time, the last time I had a group together. There's been like, it's almost like 3 crews. The first time I started out, it was Mike Mountain, Dave Barker, Scott Fay, Orkney, myself, and then it was Colin and all that. And then just everybody had different ideas and moved their different ways. And then it's just like me, John, Sue and Paul now, I think. And Irish John. It's kind of like the group that I hang out with more regularly these days. And they're all doing their own sort of shows and stuff now. So, yeah. There's the thing that since the lockdown, I planned a few things, and then since the lockdown started, there's so many people have actually started doing the ideas that I had, and I thought, right, okay, don't want to do that because I don't want to be accused of copying anybody or anything like that. But I would like to do like a Saturday night. I think there's is it the model officers, Carl and that. They do a Saturday night live once a fortnight, and this Saturday is they're doing a Saturday night live this Saturday, I think. I've not really kept up to date with it, but I think they do one once a fortnight, and I think they're doing this Saturday. But then again, it's like, I sometimes think of it like, do you want to watch BBC One, BBC Two, STV, or do you want to go on Netflix and watch something else? So I don't support, I try not to time my live feeds, to be honest. There's no point of me doing a live feed at the same time on a Monday night as the E-Model show because it's really, really popular. And there's no point in me doing a live show on a Friday night that Paul Bretland does his one. And then you've got Florrie Models doing his one. So there's no point me trying to compete at the same time because it's basically all the same people that watch all the same shows. So trying to grab a slot that nobody else is doing at the same time. Or you could just go, bugger it, people can choose what channel they want to watch. But I try not to step on too many toes. Paul saying just after Christmas was the last sort of live group show. But I was talking to the guys earlier, and they're quite keen on just going on for a laugh. And it might get us all back at the bench again. We're all suffering with a lack of mojo at the moment. I mean, this wooden kit, it's not a styrene kit, what I normally make. But it's got me at the bench, and it's got me doing the live shows again. So I have got a fun. You maybe see if you follow Florrie, you might have seen this before. Wait now, where is it? Can I find it? Aha, here's a laugh. I watched this review on Mr. Florrie's channel, and it's a missile. An AIM-54 missile. But it's a bit of a comic-y type of one. Can you see that? I'll do my own wee review on it. But you get 2 of these wee things in the box and just wee fun things like that to try and get you back to the bench is what I'm sort of contemplating at the moment. Getting me to the bench is a big thing. Once I'm there, I can sit and I just get lost. Guys, do you ever finish a frog fruit jet with LED light and you was building that? The problem I ran into on that one is the moulding is so soft, the panel lines are horrible, the fit is horrible. It's a bit of a shelf queen at the moment. I've actually just... You're on about this one. I've stuck it all back in the box for now. It's going in the shelf. Yeah, exactly what John's just saying. You bar steward. It's going to be like the RD build. It's like, it'll look nice when it's done, but I can't be asked scribing and how do you scribe tiny little circles? For those of you that are into rescribing and do a lot of aircraft, you look at the model, right, and it's got very soft detail of a circular bit with 4 rivets in it, right? But the bit next to it doesn't fit very well, right? So you've got to fill it and sand it, and then you've got to rescribe this little round thing before. it just started taking the piss, and I thought, nah. I gave up on it. It was. I will finish it, just like the RD. But yeah, it really put me off. Just really, really poor molding and poor fit. If it had fit together nice, then it's just painting and weathering and stuff. And the lighting isn't too bad, but it's a poorly molded kit or softly molded. But proper model maker can rescribe it. I just got bored with the rescribing. So instead of that, I can't remember. I think I won that off the e-models. You know how they used to do their giveaways on a Monday? I don't know if they still do it. I won it off the e-models, and it's a poor kit. I actually prefer propeller aircraft, and I actually have quite a few. I don't know where I put them. 1/48 scale. I like German aircraft. Where did I put them? Well, there's one up there, but that's an American one. Well, I tell you, a kit I got just recently. It looks really nice. This, I got it for Mike Jolly. Yeah? Twin Huey. I love helicopters. But I've also got a helicopter there that was given to me as well, and I've got a Leopard tank that I also won on emo. I've got so much stuff up there, it would keep me going for years. But the next build I advertised that I was going to do, which I think I'm maybe, I'm rejigging the man space at the moment. The one I'd sort of said I was going to do in conjunction with my Electricity series, which I didn't get much further with, but I will try and get on with that, was the Porsche 911 Turbo, which was a 124 scale Revell car kit build. I think that'll be the next sort of video build series. But it's just like you say you're going to do all these things, and then the next shiny thing comes along. And here's a question for you guys in the chat. How many models do you have on the go at once? Are you I'll start one and build it till the end before I start the next one? Or if like me, you come across problems and go, right, I'll make it a shelf queen and start another? Or do you have 5 or 6 on the go? What sort of amount of models do you have on the go at the same time? I started off myself. You would have like you would start one model, and you would maybe be at the priming stage on that one. And whilst you're waiting for that to dry, you would start another one. So that's at the gluing stage. So you've got one in gluing stage, one in priming stage, and then you've maybe got one a bit further on where it's at the weathering stage. So you're maybe looking at 3 or 4 on the go. I think I've got about 10 on the go at the moment, and they're all sitting in primer. And yeah, Lee's saying 10. I'm probably about that. Excuse me, hiccups. Gary Pashley says too many. Okay. Gordon's alive says too many. Yeah, mate, you've got a model shop in your house, but anyway. Osric's got 3 underway. Oh, so you've only got 3. Okay, so what are those 3? Wave is saying I refuse to answer that question because it'll make me look awful. Mate, I get so much ribbon about the RZ build that I started possibly 5 years ago and still haven't finished yet. I consider myself a bike builder. No, you won't look awful, mate. Seriously. Lee's got half a loft full. I'd like to rummage in your loft. Fraser, since I'm going to be starting my army, I'm going to be doing small batches by a box of troops. If you're talking about the Warhammer or Warhamster stuff, Fraser, I find building the vehicles is quite nice because I quite like doing the armor. It's quite straightforward. You prime it, you paint it, you weather it, blah, blah, blah. So the vehicles are quite easy to do. But see, doing all these wee figurines, even if you base coat them all and then you say, It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And you can get a bit tired of doing repetitive, all right, I'm going to do all the chest emblazonments tonight and all that. And you maybe jump onto something else just for a break. Kits. Paul's saying just the one. You just do the one at the time, but you always do a really decent job of the ones you're doing. God, more arriving regularly. Yeah, I know. Jared's in. Good evening, Jared. Long time no see. I hope you're keeping well with all this lockdown and COVID thing. Gary Pashley, too easy to get distracted with something shiny and new while other projects gather dust. Yes, Gary, I'm like that. It's like I'm really enjoying that. Oh, shiny. Oh, look, a squirrel. Yeah. Lee, a what? A 1/9 scale Ducati I can have. 1/9 scale, that'll be oh, I'm so out of touch. 1/9 scale Ducati. I think I know what that is. Yes, come to me. 1/9 scale, that'll be same as old man, just the one, Sue. But you just sort of go out and do your work and come home and model and do a wee bit every night, and it keeps you occupied. Yeah, it's a bigger than a 12. Yeah, is it Pro? I'm trying to remember the names now. They used to all flow off the tip of my tongue, but I've not done the live things for ages. The 1/9 scale. They used to be cast in metal, and then they were cast by another company in plastic. I'm trying to remember now. I can't remember. Somebody dig me out a hole. Protar, that's it. 1/9 sounds like a Protar. That would be interesting. Fraser saying I wouldn't be much in the troops, just base colours are shade enough to be tabletop standard. Right, okay. 996. A Revell. Ooh. Oh, that'll probably be a fun build if it's Revell, but cool. There was a bike, the first sort of bike I built, and I'm going back to Matchbox days, was the Vincent Black Shadow. I built one when I was about 10 years old. And I've been looking to try and get another one now, but they're all like £120 or something for the old Matchbox Vincent Black Shadow. Really, really like to do it again with all the tools and the paints and the knowledge that I've got now, rather than Lee. Yeah. Well, PM me on that one, mate. That sounds very interesting. Yeah, so some people have quite a few kits on the go, and some people just have one or two. What's Raver saying? Bah humbug to you and your tabletop. Back in my day, tabletop was shade, base coat, and highlight. My brother has got what I would call Gen 1 Warhammer, not 40k stuff. And he's got white metal stuff and all that, when it was all Gene Stealers and all that, and all you had, it was an actual board game, because I played it with him. And he's got ones that was like American footballer type styly ones in that, and they're worth a fortune, and they're all just sitting gathering dust in his cupboard. I've tried to ask him if I can have some to paint. But yeah, my brother was really into the board game and the Warhammer, but that was before 40k, so it would have been right. Space Hulk and Blood Bowl, that's the ones with us. He's got them, and he's got original white metal or lead or whatever they were made of figurines that haven't even been painted. I mean, he basically turned around and says, here's all my Warhammer paint. I've still got inks, Warhammer inks from 30 years ago. And you know what? A wee bit of alcohol in them. They just they just thing me back up again. So yeah, he's got a lot. I'm trying to persuade him to let me have them to paint. He has got the complete. Now the thing he said to me is the original sets are actually worth a lot of money. He's got a complete Space Hulk. I think that's the one with the Gene Stealers. But the Blood Bowl, he's only got some of the board game, but most of the characters. So yeah, Space Hulk. Yeah, as I say, I've never been a Games Workshop board gamer, but my brother was into it, because before that can you remember before PCs and all that came out? I mean, I'm talking about I was born in 67, so I started high school, 80? I came out of high school in 83. We didn't even have computers in. You used to get these books without all the figurines and all that. And it was actually like a book with a game in it that you used to have to play from the book, but it wasn't a board game. Can anybody remember that far back? He started off on that, and then he went on to the, what I call the Gen 1 sort of Warhammer stuff. And then he had all this Subuto as well. The Subuto, can you remember Subuto with the felt football pitch? He had all the stands and the floodlights and all that, and all loads of he's got loads of Subuto as well, and I don't even know if you can still get that. It must be worth a fortune. Space Hulk, Choose Your Own Adventure, Fighting Fantasy. Was that the books or was that the games with us? Sent a picture of what the box looks like. Right, I'll have a look. Oh, you dancer. Yes, please. Definitely yes, please. I would have to say that Ducati is my most favourite bike to look at. Could never afford one. But I've talked to a lot of Ducati owners who say some of them are not that great to ride. They're not very comfortable. But I love Ducati bikes. We were saying just released, get my teeth in. It just released a virtual version of that where a guy reads you the book. So that's right. Choose Your Adventures, Fighting Fantasy. Right. So that's what my brother started off on before he started off on the what I call Warhammer Gen 1. I don't know what the real term for it is because all I know is there's like the really early stuff like my brother had, like what you mentioned, and then all of a sudden it's all 40k and all the other stuff. That'd be like a bedtime story. You're sort of drifting off to sleep. The guy's reading the book. What do you do? Will you shoot the dragon or will you stab the... No problem, Lee. There's no rush, but that's... it's a gorgeous looking thing. Right. I suppose we'll get back to this. I've got a wee bit of filing to do before I go back onto the bench cam. I'm quite enjoying the chat tonight. There was a Kickstarter a few months back with models of all the cover monsters. All right. You'd think with the PC gaming and that, I mean, I downloaded, I think it was on Steam, Space Marine type thing. It was all right, but it's not quite the same as rolling the dice. Well, I'm used to the board game one where you'd roll the dice and you could either move to and have an attack of whatever was left over on the dice or whatever. Nowadays, it's all measuring tapes and big... Yeah. No bother, mate. I'll do that, Lee. But yeah. It goes back to the old school board games where you have to use a little bit of imagination, whereas nowadays it's all so immersing and visual and all that on the computer. And I do like my computer gaming, but yeah, the kids don't have quite as much imagination. I'll go back to the bench cam and you can see me screaming and shouting at trying to make another one of these gear wheels up because they are incredibly fiddly. So this is a gear wheel. Okay, with 4 slots in it. And I have 4 of these tiny little things made out of 3-ply that are supposed to be an interference fit into there, and then you push them in using the specially shaped tool, which has ran away for its holidays. Where's it gone? Who stole my tool? Right, that's that. That's that. That's that. That's that. Okay, that's the glues. I pulled all the glues out. I was yapping about that. I've lost my tool. I'm in trouble here because there's no way I'm going to get these in. Anybody see it? The wee teardrop. What have I done with it? Yeah, normal smooth set. Ah, there. That'll be the one I'm looking for. So this is specially shaped to sit into the little groove of the V, so you can push it into this thing. But I'm finding that they're just a little bit too big, so I'm having to file it out. So I suppose I better get on with the build a bit so that I make some progress from where I was. And get caught up in the chat and get nothing done. That might go. Let's give this a bash. Oh, sausage fingers. Nah, there's no danger that's going in yet. Oh, better pop my chat box back up so I can see what everybody's talking about. Oh, Stuart Bremner's in. How you doing, Stuart? Is he on the night shift? Oh, you're not working tonight this time. That's good. Stuart Bremner works as a mechanic or technician on the trains. Oh, that's right. You've done your shifts, so you're probably off for about 3 or 4 now, are you? Needs a bit more off there. This seems a bit thicker. Well, it's all the same thickness of ply, right enough, but just feels thicker. Yeah, that's what Sue says to Paul all the time. That feels thicker tonight. She's going to give me a slap when I see her. Right, that's starting to go in. Let's give it the brute force and ignorance approach. It's in, I think. A wee bit more on this side. It's in, it's in, it's in. Let's make it go flush. So these little gear teeth, I don't know if you can make them out in the camera, these little V's all go into these little slots, and I believe the V's for driving a small elastic band. So this is the one that goes on the crankshaft, and it will link up to the one on the back here, because it is motorized, I suppose, via elastic band technology. That looks fair enough. I'll let that pass. Let's get the next one ready. Everybody's going, hello, Stuart. Fraser thought the carpet monster hit it. No, it's because it's the same colour as the rest of that, and it's lying like that, and it's like one of these. Find Wally. Where's Wally? Actually, Wally would probably be quite easy to find during lockdown. So yeah, I'm just going to check something. Give me 2 seconds. There's a feature on this that I never know if I've enabled. Has anybody ever used... Now, I'm not asking you to do it, right? Have any of you used that super chat thing? And is it easy to set up? Not asking you for money. Don't take it the wrong way. I just wondered if mine was working. That was all. Because when I become really big and famous, like in 40 years, but I just wondered if anybody had ever used it, and is it a bollock to use, or is it quite easy to use, or... Curiosity killed the cat. That's all. I'm not asking you to do super chats, by the way. I'm just asking if anybody has used it in the past. Right, a little bit more on that one. So what have all you guys got planned for the weekend? Basically, Lee, there should be at the bottom of the chat a little like a $ sign thing. and you can click it and donate like $1 or whatever. I don't know. I've never used it. I've seen people using it on other folks' channels, and I know I'm entitled to use it, but I don't know if it works. Is the question. So, for people who do use it, is there a setup process involved to get it working in the first place, or do you just sort of click it and off you go? Just curiosity. So don't please start sending super chats. Just curious if anybody has used it on other channels and how easy to set up and how does it. I know how it works. Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, it works. Thanks, John. That'll cover a postage of me sending you something. That's my first ever. My first ever. First ever super chat. Was it easy to set up, John? Do you have to go through a palaver, or is it just like how does it? No, I just wanted to see if it worked. It was just to see as a technicality, does it work? I'm not expecting everybody to send me super chats. I mean, everybody's hard up now. I just wondered if it worked because the way you set up YouTube now is a bit different, and you have to do so many things before things work. But I've never had one. I just wanted to see if it worked. It works. That's fine. That's cool. Cheers. Cheers for that, John. Gordon's alive. I'll make it up to you. I just wanted to see if it was working. You're a star, mate. Made the big leagues, haha. What's everybody got planned for the weekend? Because it's apparently another bank holiday. For me, I'm pretty much going to be trying to do a little bit at a time. I was chatting to John and that earlier on, and Sue and Paul, and I was saying that I was struggling a bit with the lockdown. But I want to revamp my man cave, and there's stuff here for me. Like I've bought shelving and stuff just to give me a bit more room, and revamp my man cave a bit. And I just lost a train of thought because I was putting this in. So just try to see what everybody's up to. So, I mean, some of you, like myself, might suffer with mental health problems. So I'm trying to do a little bit a day. And from speaking to other people, they say that's the best way. Just do what you can. Set yourself a couple of wee goals. Do a little bit a day. And then hopefully I'll get enough done that I can get my man cave. Oh, cheers, Paul. Another. My goals are. I'll go back on chat for a minute because I'll go back on the face thing because it's a bit rude when I'm user sitting chatting away and I'm at the bench, which is why I want to get OBS going. More building. Are you building a Skyline GTR 124 scale? Is it a Tamiya, Lee? Lee, you're in Smooth Cave, are you? Wait now. Let's see if I can post a link up. What am I looking for? Right. I've got a small group of people. See if I can get this to work. And a friend of a little Facebook page called Smooth Cave. An admin will need to add you to it. It's a closed group, and we all share our model building on there. So if you've got any pictures of that, Lee, feel free to peek into the Smoothscape. I love seeing what other folk build because it inspires me to do other stuff. Frank Catho, a German friend, he's a banner picture at the moment. He's building a wee Mazda MX-5 Roadster, and he's not finished it yet. But he's done the way he's done the photography and the background and everything. It looks like a real car. And just lots of stuff like that. So you've got a thing about skylines. I drove one when I worked for Nissan, and unfortunately it was raining a bit. They're a bit twitchy at the back end and roundabouts, aren't they, Lee? Mind you, you've worked for Porsche as well, so you know about twitchy at the back end. Unlike my friend Paul, Plastic Monkey, who gave me a super chat there, he's always twitchy at the back end, but that's more to do with his medication than anything else. So you've got a thing about skylines. Fraser's going to stop by your gran and granda's, going to give him a future car. So when you go to your granny and granda's, are you going to be doing it like through the window? Again, well, it's locked. It's a bit of an awkward thing. Stuart's going to do jobs around the house and hopefully time on your FW190, your Focke-Wulf. Yep. Audric's off to bed. Work tomorrow. See you soon, guys. Thanks, Audric, for popping in and joining us. We're just after midnight here in the UK now, so thanks for popping in. Oh, you're at McLaren now. That's right. You got a cushy job, didn't you? Aye. Yeah, McLaren. So a 570S, right? I'm into bikes. I know of cars, and I know McLaren's a prestige thing. I don't know what a McLaren 570 is. But yeah, definitely get yourself on the Smoothscape group, Lee. And if you're building anything, just post up like work in progress pictures or whatever. Yeah, Skyline's drifty. Worth a lot of money now. The old ones before I came in with, Right. I'll go back to my... I prefer rear wheel drive myself. If I do happen to drive a cage. A cage, for people who don't know, is what a motorcyclist calls a car driver. Because basically you're in a protective cave and motorcyclists aren't. So when you cut them up, they basically call you a dirty cage driver or other words to that effect. So for those of you who are in tonight, and I know you are all model builders, and I know a few of my friends already know where to stand on this. Any of you tried lighting up your kits, interested in lighting up your kits? Should I get back on with my electricity series? Because I do like soldering and fannying about with electronics. Should I get on with it, or should I put more content up about actual model making rather than the electricity side? Right, that's not going to go in yet. Very expensive now, yeah. A lot of folk quote them by chassis number. This is a such and such variant or whatever. Will this go in? Let's give it a go. Oh, yeah, it appears to be going in. As I say, this is 3-ply, so you can see with the two light bits in the dark bit, that's 3-ply, right? And it's a really fine point. There's no way you could force that into there without the tool. So they've definitely thought ahead about what they supply with the kit. And it's definitely not flush. So a little bit of adjustment with my universal adjusting tool. Right, that's in. A wee bit more on that side. And a little... Right, so that's that gear done that they wanted me to do. which was supposed to be done earlier on a ×2. Let's come forward. So I've got the two halves of the frame together. So they now want me to put that on there, but knowing it's a turning part, I'm going to grab my little bit of candle wax, which is what they advise. Obviously, you've got wood rubbing against wood. Not like what us guys have in the morning. Now, behave. When you've got wood rubbing against wood, you're going to get friction. So you want to alleviate the friction. So they suggest wax. I'm going to tuck this stand up out the way in its folded away position, because it's getting on my nerves. Right, okay. So, directly onto, I might actually just coat this with a little bit of wax as well, just to make sure if it's going to be rubbing against the wooden frame, it gives it a little chance of being able to do its job. So they then ask to push that over the crankshaft. You can see this all going terribly wrong. Oh, it's going. It's going. There we go. It's, you maybe see it there. I'm sliding. There we go. That's on the crankshaft. So does it still spin? Still spins. So that lines up with the first. It's almost like a chain and sprocket idea. It's okay. There's a bit too much end float. Might need to shim it up. Right. Okay. So I put that on, and then on the end of that, I have to put two 53s. So these are obviously bearings, but it doesn't tell you to lube them up. So there's the first one. Is it going to go? Do I have to get my hammer out? No. So there's one bearing over, and then are they both? Yeah. Another one. Oh, it will go. Two bearings and a gear, and it still turns. Excellent. And my wee pistons are going up and down. Okay, so that's that done. And it just says to make sure. Oh, it asked me to put an elastic band on. Ho, ho, ho. Right, they give you a couple of these wee black elastic bands. They're really quite thin. So I'm a bit worried about these, because if these break, I'm buggered. So they want you to put it around that small one, and then around, right up. This is tweezers time, I think. Where are my? Round there, and round there, and then get this over there. So basically, it was free turning. This is going to be drip. This is the bit that you wind up to tension the elastic band, and then I think you flick this wheel lever, and then that turns that, and then there's another elastic band goes to the back wheel, I think. So it's looking a bit more interesting now. And then it's onto the tank. So I'll just go into the, I'll have a wee blur away for a bit. I'll just change my camera back again. This is so much easier using a different program, but anyway. Right, so we have the bike at the moment. I folded the stand up away in there. It kind of, it's a bit of a strange. So it's got a stand that you can either have it down so the bike's presented on its stand, or you can wiggle it away up, out the way, and hook it out the way. So I'm going to have it like that. That's your front foot pegs. Okay. So we've got this side of the engine, which doesn't really have much showing. And then on this side, we have, I'm doing this back to front, so it's a bit strange. We've got the crankshaft driving this, which you wind up via all the elastic bands inside to motor it along. So that's that part of it done. I'll move that to the side. And I'd started on the tank last night, which is in sections, beautifully laser cut. Involves a bit of banging. So I'm a bit of banging. Yeah, bit of banging. So I'm going to move back onto the tank, which basically my next set of things to do is this. But I do need to pop to the bathroom for 2 seconds. So I will be back in 2 seconds. Please feel free to chat amongst yourselves. I don't have anybody else to hold chat whilst I'm away. I will literally be 2 shakes of a very small thing. Back in a second. Right, apologies about that, folks, for a wee bit of dead air time. Yeah. No, I mean, normally when I do live feeds, it's a group of people, and whilst I disappear to the bathroom, somebody else would take over. But it's just me, and I've got an old man bladder, and yeah. So I can't see what you're typing in chat until I put my COVID repaired spectacles on. There we go. Right, what we're going to... Fraser's interested in lighting up stuff. Smooth Crew with MX5 on the cover. Yeah. Always interested to learn something new. Just posted in the cave. That's cool. I might actually do a live feed one night. I've not done it for a while. I usually do it when there's a group of us on, because then somebody can watch the chat whilst I'm... Because of the way the windows work, I'm clicked off and can't see what's happening. If we decide to do a wee live feed with more than just me on, I might do a review of people's builds that they've been posting up in the cave. So I'd advise, because this is kind of sporadic and we haven't got a set time and that for doing it, if you're in the middle of build, please post your work in progress pictures up in the cave, and one night I might come on, it might just be like a cave review and a general chit chat rather than, building something. Just pushing cave. Lee's going, how's everyone? Stuart's trying to get his body clock around on today's. I'm a bit of a night hawk anyway, Stuart, so I naturally tend to verge towards being on the night shift. Okay, what you do? I spot. Oh, you spotted my. All right, okay. I'll see if I can. I'll take my glasses off because they just fall off my face as soon as I stand up. I have got. Oh, please spotted it. Oh, a rather dusty box. I'll show you in a second. On about that, Lee, my 1/16th Samba bus. Yeah, still got to do a review on it. It's supposed to be quite a nice kit. Got it at a really, really good price. I think it was about half price at the time. So yeah, I've got that in my stash. Got quite a lot of stuff in my stash. I've I'm tending to veer towards some of the bigger stuff now, but let's see if I can get that back up where it was. No danger. I'll need to go there. There we go. Yeah, I've got quite a few kits there. Obviously, it does look a big kit, yeah. I think Sue showed me earlier on, we were in a wee private hangout before I went live. Sue Chapman, she's done the 124th Samba bus. And, it's cracking. She did all the wee, it's the right flower power sort of thing. You remember my wee yellow Beetle that I did with all the nail decals, all the pansies and that on? She's done the wee Samba bus with all the proper 60s flower power on it. She showed me it tonight. It was brilliant. I like it a bit. I love big kits. It's just they're usually out of my price range, Lee. Is the biggest problem. So I'm just going to quickly go. We've still got 12 people watching me at 20 past 12 here in the UK. If you just happen across the channel and wonder what it's all about, I make models, styrene models, balsa models. Tonight I'm doing a wooden model. Occasionally I do these things. So if you've just happened across the channel and you're going, oh, it's a live feed, I'll just watch it. Make sure you're on the main YouTube page because there's a little chat box and you can sit and chat away and stuff like that to me whilst I'm building. So I'm going to go back to the bench because I want to get this fuel tank's quite a cool thing and I need to do some hammering and I want to wake up her downstairs because she's and if I remember rightly, it's all on the wheels sprue. So I'll get my sprue ready. I have that ready. I have that. So I need that. Does anybody talk to themselves when the modeling is like, right, I need that, I've got that, I'll take that, but or is it just me? Am I just strange? Right, so I need that. I'm doing it again. Right, I've got all my bits. Well, I've got all my bits, but some of the bits in there are missing. Right, we'll go back to the bench and we'll carry on with this bike build. We're going to be doing the fuel tank, which I started last night. So hopefully we should be back. Sort my camera out. Right, okay. So I started last night. So it's basically lots of sections, as you'll maybe see in the diagram there. And you're building it up section by section by section. And they tell you to wax it and push fit it. But I'm finding that hammering, getting the big stick out is the best. So I'm just trying to remember where I got to. So there was 3 parts and then we put them on and there was 2 others. 3 and 2 others. So we're now on to the next one. So we're looking for 42 and 41. Now, the only bugbear I've got with the way they've laser cut these is obviously they've got to leave a little nub so it stays in the wood. So they're mostly doing them on the flat, but on the tank pieces, they're doing little nubs on the corners, and that's just like, no. So my advice to the company manufacturing this, if they ever do come across this video and you want some constructive feedback, do not make the nubs for your laser cutting on corners. That's my only... And make an elastic band the right size for that drive thing so you don't have to rob your post office elastic band stash. Other than that, it's great fun. I'm actually really looking forward to doing the wheels because, as you can see, there are going to be multiple layers, and it being the kind of bike that it is, it's going to require big fat tires. And I think was it last night, Fraser asked me about painting this. It's 3 ply, so I think it would soak up a lot of paint. But it might be interesting to actually do one, you know, and actually paint up all the frame and all that. So the good thing about this is it's basically held together with cocktail sticks. I can't remember what the Americans call them. Toothpicks? wooden toothpicks is all that holds it together, and carefully machined, almost like a dovetail joint. You've got two bits of wood with a slight split in the middle, and it's split apart, and when you push it in, it squeezes together. Is that dovetail? Well, it's that. So at a later date, I expect I could pull it apart and paint it. But I do think that the plywood would probably soak up quite a lot of the... Is that a crack? No, it's just a feature in the wood. I quite like the wooden effect. You know, with the burnt parts on it with the laser cutting, and then the lighter parts. Might paint it at a later date. It might be quite cool to paint a wooden model. I don't know. But I know I would have to get a decent sort of... as I say, like when you're emulsioning a bare plaster wall, you put a wash on first to let it all soak in, and then you build the paint up after that. Stuart says he'll be back in a mo, whatever a mo looks like. Okay, Stuart. I'm just waffling at the moment whilst I'm replenishing my Coca-Cola tonight, which may have an added ingredient. But it's Friday, so bugger it. So there we go. But I just like... I don't... You know how you get 3D printers and then you can get a laser... I think I talked about it one of the other nights. You can get different heads for them. This laser cutting business is absolutely fantastic. And I expect the machine does laser cut and laser etch, because obviously there's like details of... They've even got Ugears and what kit it is and all that, like on the tyre markings. Let's see if I can actually zoom you in on that, because I want you to see what I'm talking about. So I'll keep going in a bit, That's as far as I can zoom in. So can you see on the wheels, they've actually got a direction of rotation arrow, and then they've got Ugears, and then a type of kit, which is VM-02. Just, I'll flick this round this way, whilst it's still zoomed in. Hopefully the camera still stays slightly off camera. What I was wanting to try and show you was, I'll just zoom out a bit. Out again. Try to show you the front forks. They've even laser burnt the wee calipers and all that stuff on it. It's really, really quite nice. Really quite impressed with it. So I'll just zoom that back out. Apologies for that. Straighten the camera up. I've got it mounted on my overhead light, so apologies for the wiggling a little bit. Right, so I'm on there. Get my chat back up. There we go. I'm back. Right. So carrying on with the fuel tank, I'm looking for parts 42 and 41. There's 41 and there's 42. Right, so we're going to go for them next. Now, what I found with this kit, although they tell you just to break it out using this tool, you use it to, as well as lining up your elastic band and stuff like that and pushing the wee gears in, you use it for pushing all the parts out. If you just push all the parts out with the tool, sometimes the plywood delaminates. So I've been using a safety razor blade. Now, I do know I'm looking for the nubs on the top side, and you don't really see them. But if you flip it over onto the back side, they usually become a bit more apparent. Right, I'm just going to drop my seat a bit so I get a bit closer to it, because my old man eyes can't see anything. Right, there's a couple of nubs there on the wee flat bit, so we'll just take that one. And this is the indentation where the speedo binnacle goes, so that's those two. And I do know that they naturally put one on the corner of the curve there, and one there. So now I can flip it over and I know where they are. There's one there. That's a good clicking sound. It's actually a bit better, me being a bit closer to the bench now. I've dropped my seat down. And then there's a tiny little one there. And then a tiny little one there. Because you can get a far better circle on a laser cut. You don't want to be doing it on the corners. See, you get that little nub on the corner. That's my only sort of gripe about it. It's been great. So I'll just file that little nub off. It'd be great if you didn't have to file them off at all, because the burning on the edge of it with the laser cutting is quite a nice effect. So that's that nub. This one's a bit rougher. Obviously didn't manage to get cut through it quite enough. And then these two in here, there's a, if you've ever looked at the cruiser style bikes, that they have like a speedo and all that built into the top of the tank, that's what this is like. Paul's away, plastic monkey off to bed, catch again. You come into bed, so I think she's in the sex room, Paul. I don't know if her other lover's in there, but yeah. Thanks for popping in, Paul and Sue. I'm still not letting you off for teasing me with an ice cream earlier on. Went into the offline thing just before I came live, just for a catch up, because I haven't spoke to Paul and Sue for over a month. And Paul came on camera with an ice cream in his hand. And he didn't get one for me and John. I just think that was shocking. Right, so what was that one? That was 41. So 41 is the next one along. They tell you to put wax in it to make it easier to assemble. Yeah, right, okay. It's still getting the hammer treatment. And it goes. It's quite a really clever set up with the little pins and everything. So that basically goes, if I'm right. Oh no, I've done something wrong here. I've jumped a step, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Right, I've jumped a step, so it's not 41 that I need. It's 40 and 39. Okay, silly boy. Not a problem. Should have realised when I seen that. Right, so 40 and 39. So 40 in that one. So that's next step up. So as per before, there'll be one there. That's a good click. And there'll be one there. And then there'll be a tiny little one in the corner, which is a pain in the bottom. It's here. And then one there. Flip it over. $39. That's the one I'm doing. God, I'm losing track of what one I'm doing now. That's that one. That's that one. A little bit in the corner. A little bit in the corner. You can do it without the safety blade. The only thing is, when you pop them out, you tend to get delamination, and it all just looks a bit teeth. Right, I think I need to. Yeah. Did I do the front side of this, or did I do the front side of another one? That's a decisive click. That's good. And another one. I'm just finding that using that blade makes it a hell of a lot easier. Gentle wiggle out. There we go. That's the correct next piece. I'm just checking up the chat there. Oh, that's just saying I'm being summoned. Night all. Night, Sue. Night, Paul. Thanks for popping in. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. doesn't really leave you much, but yeah. I made Sue give Paul a slap for teasing me with ice cream. It's quite funny. It's just rattled the back of his head a couple of times. I said, Sue, what? Go and give Paul a slap. She says, what for? I says, well, he popped on and he had an ice cream cone in his hand and he didn't give me or John an ice cream. So she just took the back of her hand across the back of his head twice. It was quite funny. Right, okay, I will wax it. Not that it makes any odds. Let's just wax this pin and wax that. And it's a bit like the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. Right, so this should actually this time fit because I've got the right bit. And there it is. It says you should be able to push it. Can I push this one? So it's time to annoy the neighbour again. Out of my jeweler's block. And my small universal adjuster toffee hammer. So that's another piece of the tank. So we're starting to come sort of up over the curve now. So I might just have to catch the edge of them when I'm doing my toffee hammer treatment. So I'll just put that off to the side. Anybody that's interested, this is it's just basically a piece of steel. It's called a jeweler's block. They're not very expensive. You can get them off eBay. The main reason I got it for is I've got a couple of kits where I've bought aftermarket photo etch chain sets, and you have to rivet over the end of it. And I thought I need something solid to put that on so I can do the riveting. I've had that for a while, but it's coming really useful. It's got a lot of really nice sharp 90-degree angles on, great for photo etch and stuff. So it's called a jeweler's block. I'm not a jeweler, so I don't know what the jewelers actually use it for, but there you go. Right, so I'm looking for part number 40 now, which is this part. So I'm guessing that the cuts are going to be in the same place as the last time. And there, I think I started cutting this actually. A wee one in there, a wee one in there. Flip it over. It seems on the reverse side, if you're cutting these with a safety blade like I'm doing, you can see the tiny little nubs better on the back side than the front side. Okay, I don't know if I've quite caught that nub there. Let's see if we can wiggle this loose from the frame. There we go. So yeah, it's a lovely system. Quite curious. I'm just kind of scanning further ahead where they're asking me to put more cocktail sticks in, but we'll see how we go with that. Again, the wee bit on the curve, disappointing. It would have been better putting it on the flat somewhere, but like a broken record now. Anybody watching will get the message. A wee bit of sandwich. So we've still got 8 insomniacs in. So whoever's still in, shout yeah! Or if you fell asleep, just keep sleeping. Bit of wax, a little bit of wax on the inside of there. Bit of wax on there just to help it go together, apparently. And this one goes that way around. It's a big, beefy tank. Right. That's going to be tight, but I think that sits lower than the last one. So I'm going to have to catch it on the edge of my jeweler's block and only catch the individual part that I'm trying to put on, because it's now starting to taper down the other way. So I'm only just catching the edge. I don't know if that's the right bit in the right place. Is it? Is it supposed to taper down like that? And then I've done it right, 40 and 39. I'm just wondering about the instrument panel. I suppose it's going to slope, so we shall see. If I've got it wrong, the good thing about this is I can pop it all apart again. Lee's off. I'm off now, Smooth. Thanks again. I'll PM you that info that you asked for, Lee, and thank you very much for popping in. Fraser might have to jet off in 20 minutes. That's fine. I don't mind sitting talking to myself anyway, because quite often round about this time, we sometimes get American people coming in, so it's very thankful for everybody that tunes in. And thank you for your company and a bit of a giggle and a laugh on the chat. So, yeah, good night, gentlemen. Be safe, look after yourself, and sorry for my wiggly camera. Right. Hopefully, I have got this right, but it is kind of... To me, that should all be flush along the bottom, and it's kind of getting a bit uneven. Because the bottom of the tank should all be flush, obviously, yeah. Is that my OCD kicking in, do you think? The bottom of the tank should be flush and the top should be curved. We'll see. We'll see what happens once I've finished sticking it together. If it looks a bit out of sorts, I'll adjust it. Right, so that was... Oh, wait a minute. Now, was that 42? Have I pulled the wrong bit out? 40 and 39. Could it have been that bit it's supposed to go in? Oh no! But then with 41 and 42, it might be all right. Right, that should be 41. This should be. Unless Smooth's fucked it up. No, it's looking right. That's looking right. That looks right. Yeah, it's starting to taper down now. We'll just do a quick, just to level it up. Yeah, it's starting to look the right shape now. Yeah, so it's all just pegged in at the bottom there. Right, so that was 41, and the next one's 42. It should be smaller. Put this off to the side, excuse me a second. There's my blade. Where have you put my blade, guys? Ah, there it is. Right, so 42. So it's going to be there. Yep. These are gradually getting smaller. Yeah. And on the curve again. And on the curve on that one. Yep, you can see it better on the reverse side where the knobs are. Oh, that's just went through the two of them, no problem. Just be a bit more careful on the curved part. Get that wee knob out of the way. Let's see, 42 will break out. Oh no, it's being a... Oh, there. Oh, we've got movage. There we go. File. again on a corner. But yeah, stop moaning, Terry. You didn't buy the kit. Definitely be interested in doing. I seen Chris for Gross Models was doing like a Wooden Wednesday thing, and I thought, oh, I hope he's not got the same kit as what I've got, but he's there's a proper word for it. I can't remember the word, but he runs a family business, repairing clocks and watches and stuff. So he's got a really fine eye, a good eye for fine detail. And the one I seen him posting up was a different manufacturer of a wooden kit. So, I mean, this is the first one I've come across. So there may be others out there that I don't know about. And he was quite chuffed because the actual manufacturer of the kit that he was building on his Wooden Wednesday got a hello from the manufacturer. So, yeah, good on you, mate. Right, let's get this one chapped in. Right, I need to step it off a bit because we're going down in size. That's where the jeweler's block's really handy. And then just make sure the bottom's all nice and even. There we go. So it goes together really easily. And obviously this is going to sit atop here, so it's really starting to, take shape. Camera angle might not be doing it justice, but we're really starting to get there now. Right, okay, so 44, 43, then 44. 43. I'm looking ahead to find 44 and I can't see it. Oh, it's in there. It's in the middle of there. So 43 is here. So, excuse me, adjusting my glasses. Take this wee one out. And there. And then there's obviously going to be the annoying ones on the curve. Did I mention I don't like nibs on curves? Right, and then flip it over on the other side, do the same again. Not heard that satisfying click like I heard with the other one, so I might redo it again on the other side. Oh, that one's definitely went. Don't think I got right through. Ah, there we go. Heard the click, and it's popped out. Excellent. Part number 43. Let's give it a wee sandy down. It's 43, then 44. So what you guys got planned for tomorrow? There's still people watching. Don't be shy. Say hello. Used to be when you were doing live feeds, you would get a certain bunch of people coming back at 11 and that when the pub shut, but not going to have that issue these days, are we? Right, so we're going to go for that way round. A little bit of a start it, then get it on the edge of the jeweler's block. And then just to make sure it's level all the rest, just give it a wee general tap. Push that in. So that's another one done. Right, what we're up to now. Can't even remember what number that was. That was 43. So we're now on to 44, which is in the middle of a thing. It is there in the middle of here. So, oh, the wind's picking up. This is a storm that they're top. I got an alert on my phone saying bad storm weather for where you are. And I'm like, oh, cheers, thanks. Oh, yeah, one's definitely picking up. It's quite funny. I looked on the local sort of Facebook page, and it was like, oh no, I've lost my trampolines are a common one for disappearing through the air when you've got a bit of a storm going on. But somebody was saying, if anybody finds my barbecue cover, can you let me know? So I giggled a bit at that. Come on, out you come. There we go. 44. Right, this is 44. Will Terry be able to finish it? Yeah, I hope so. It's not going to be another RZ build, I don't think, RB build. Straightforward. No glue involved. No painting involved. Cut the bits out and build the thing. Right. This one goes on here, legs there. Give it a little push to start it. Here's my hammer. Right, I'm definitely just going to have to come off the edge because we're really stepping down in size now. It's in, but just settle it with all the rest. Got nice and level along the bottom. We're nearly there. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more bits and the tank's done. Quite cool how they've done it. What are you saying, John? Simple then, Terry. What? Sorry, I've been waffling away and have no idea what I've been yapping about. He's going, simple. You calling me simple? Jared, hello. Oh, good to see you. Think about firing up my grill, maybe take my kids for a hike or fishing. Oh, you bugger. Just because you're across America. Hope you're keeping well, though. Scary stuff across there because obviously you don't have the same sort of free at the point of service National Health Service thing. Haven't seen you for ages, mate. Really nice of you popping in. And it's a bit like Paul earlier on with his ice cream cone. You're going, oh, I'm just going to fire up the grill and take my kids for a hike or fishing. We're still in lockdown here in the UK, mate. Well, England's relaxed it a bit. But to be honest, there's folk doing some crazy shizzle and no social distancing and Fraser's going, never been fishing. I used to fish with a spinning rod and worm when I was younger, and we used to fish the river that led up to the reservoir that they used to stock up with rainbow trout and brown trout. And obviously the trout would come over the overflow and you get them in the river. And just simples. And I've been sea fishing. Never caught anything sea fishing, but I used to catch quite a lot river fishing, just using live bait with a spinner. But a lot of that's been kind of banned now, and it's all fly fishing by J.R. Hartley. I couldn't stand at the side of a lake for ages with a rod continuously casting. When we did the river fishing, we started at the bottom and we basically walked up the river, up to the reservoir, and we're going up waterfalls and all sorts of things. So it was more active. So you're constantly fishing, moving, and all that. That was my mate Paul Burrows that got me into it. I still got my original spinner rod that I had when what age were we? It must have been about 13, 14-year-old. Unfortunately, the spinner, I've lost the spool, but I've still got the original fiberglass rod. It's funny the things you keep. I'm a hoarder. It's memories, though, isn't it? It's memories. I've been fly fishing. and a friend of mine used to tie his own flies and everything like that. And yeah, the tying the flies bit's quite good because it's a wee vice and you're wrapping feathers and all that. The tying the flies bit was quite good, but I just could never get the whole fly fishing thing. But certainly a relaxing pastime. Nice sunny day. Take your family up, have a picnic, side a big lake, cast your rod, sit it on one of these wee Y-shaped things, wait till the rod bobs about. Oh, I've got a fish. Oh, I just happen to have a disposable barbecue. Let's have barbecued fish. Used to catch a lot of rainbow trout and brown trout. Not sea trout, but brown and rainbow. I like a haddock as in a fish supper, but I'm not really a big fish person. I don't mind salmon. So at the time we were quite poor actually. So I would come home after being fishing with my mate Paul, and I'd maybe have like one rainbow trout and a couple of brown trout, maybe about 7 or 8 inches. Don't know about the weight. And my mum would either, I would gut them because she didn't like cutting all the guts out of them. I would gut them, and she would either grill them or she would poach them in milk, like what you do with kippers. And she loved it. It was like, yeah, I've got a nice wee bit of fish, and it never cost me anything. Going back to the late 70s, early 80s. So, yeah, quite a long time ago. You know, fish was a bit of a treat for people back then. Well, certainly in, you know, poor. My dad passed away when I was 11, so my mum was working 3 jobs to try and keep going. And so me coming home with 3 fish, she'd be like, yay! So, right, okay, I'm getting distracted. Was that 44 and 43? I think that was 44 and 40. Yeah, they're not on the sprue anymore. So I've got another 2. I've got 45 and then 46. Yeah, fishing's very relaxing. I prefer shooting. What number are you looking for? 46. And there's 49, 48, 47. Anybody see 46? Oh, there it is. I think if I was in America, I would quite enjoy the shooting and hunting thing. Obviously, in ex-army, I like shooting. I've done archery as well. I do like archery. I've never fired a crossbow. That would be quite fun. I'd like to do that in somewhere nice in America, and you just, yeah, we're going on a shooting and hunting trip, bro. Okay. It's quite interesting. They've put 3 very close together here to hold this all together. Oh, it's out. And that bit. Right, this is what I was on about with the splintering. I don't know if you'll make this out. The delamination. See if I can get this at an angle that you can see it with the brightness. So a little chip come off there, which is the first layer of the ply laminate. So if you don't use a knife to cut it and you just use a thing to push it through, you get wee chips off it and it doesn't look very good. But the bit that's came off is actually a waste piece. So that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, I'd definitely try. I've just dropped something. I'm trying to see what it is I dropped. Bear with me a second. Oh, found it. You're just a young lad, Fraser. But if you've never tried fishing and you have a friend who does fishing, it's not for everybody. Like bird watching isn't for everybody. But you'll never forget the first time you cast your line in and you feel the vibration of the fish nibbling at your bait, and then you hook it and you cast it in, even if it's a tiddler. It's just that feeling of, oh, I've caught something. You know, it's all right, maybe I'm a bit weird. Jared saying, yeah, my wife just got a pistol permit. Guns are fun. Well, obviously, I've had professional training in the army, and obviously, weapons of all sorts have got to be used responsibly and in correct conditions. But there are holidays that you can book to former Soviet or Eastern European countries where you can book a holiday and you go on a holiday and you just spend a whole day firing AK-47s and former Soviet weapons and all that. That's right up my street. As long as it's done in a safe manner, you know, it's, you know, rifle down the range and all that, you know. When I was doing my army training, there was a thing called an ND, or a negligent discharge, where your weapon goes off when it wasn't supposed to and may cause damage to others. So when I was doing my training, now I'm just thinking, it was 27 years ago, the SA-80 had just taken over from the previous weaponry. It was a Rev 1, so they're always jamming and stuff like that. So you would get the instruction with a magazine, would be up in the firing range, with a magazine of 30 rounds load. So you would load your weapon, but it would have a safety catch on. There would be nothing chambered or anything like that. And then you would get the command to load. So back with the cocking lever, one chamber into the round, still with the safety on, and then you would get the instruction prone position down, so you would hit the deck, still with your safety on. Now the problem was one of the lads had his SA-80 rifle set, instead of to single shot, he had it set to auto fire, and he also didn't have his safety catch on. So he loaded his magazine, cocked one into the chamber, hit the deck, accidentally pulled the trigger, and did a like that on automatic fire, and just missed the officer that was instructing. That's a negligent discharge, and how he never got thrown out, I'll never know. But yeah, guns are exciting if used correctly. But yeah, I just remember that. It's just like some folk are numpties and shouldn't be given things that kill people. Fraser saying, that's me heading off. Got an earliest rise today. Okay, Fraser, thanks for popping in. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm going for 2.5 hours, but I'm still plodding on with this. I am determined to get this wooden bike built, just so I can go to Chris. Look what I made, and you got me that for Christmas, and it's fabulous. It is. It's been great fun. And then I'll get on to the... Yeah, there's going to be more of these 10:30 till sort of 2 in the morning things. The bit I'm kind of scared of, it's like these metal things. Me and photo etch, I swear like a trooper at them. So you can imagine there'll be, once this is built and I go, hey, the next sort of 10:30 at night till 2 o'clock in the morning thing will be, I'm going to do this metal kit, and there'll be lots of swearing and stuff, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, moving swiftly on, we have the next piece to put in, and I can't even remember the part number. I think it's 45. Just give it a little bit of a clean up here where the nub was. We've done it the right way on this one. They've put it on the flat side, which is really good. And these 3 small ones are hidden behind the sort of speedo thing that I think will push in as a press fit on the top of the tank. So that's cool. And a wee bit there, a wee bit there. Right, so we're going on to the next bit, which gives the neckins is here. Start it off, and then bring up my jeweler's block out again, and take it just on the edge. I've caught it, yeah, I've caught it right. I Again, not worrying about the neighbour downstairs. She's caused me months of grief with her loud music playing. Bugger her. Right, okay. So we've got, looking by there, we've got 3 more parts to go. So that was 45. I'm guessing the next bit is 46. $46. 48. 47. No, that's the last 2 bits. It's 46. Anybody see it? I'm staring at him. There's 45. I've put the wrong one in there, haven't I? I think this one shouldn't have been in there. I think that's 46. So I've done a boo-boo, but I've just wiggled it out. There we go. Should be 45 in there before 46. So 45's in here. Shows you how easy it is to come apart, which is why I'm thinking that maybe, because Fraser suggested it, I might consider painting it at a later date. Or I could even, right, this would be really weird, because it wouldn't be a wooden kit anymore, actually filling it and smoothing it out and all that. Future project. Well, these two come in quite a bit, don't they? Okay. Is there a reason for that? Oh, it steadies it up when we go on to it. Right, okay. I was just doing something off camera. Right, 45's the next one. I jumped ahead one. Oh, but it's at a rather jaunty angle, so I'm assuming there's one in there. No, doesn't seem to be. Let's flip it on the reverse side and see where the tabbies are. All right, so there's 2 on the flattish part here. There's 1, 2, 1 on that side. Okay. Any more? 2 this side, 1 that. One. That was a definite click. 1 up here somewhere. I might have to get my little my little tool out, said that just to the bishop. No, I think I've got it. There's something holding it on the other side. No, just needs a bit of a... There we go. Right, so I think this is the correct next piece. Would you varnish a kit like this, I wonder? I suppose it would help when you're trying to keep the dust off it, you know, if you're not storing it under a covered thing. Because you are getting, obviously when you sand it, you're getting different colours, but I suppose it adds to the character of the kit. Right, that one should be bigger than that one. It is. Right. Well, what's that sitting in there? Have I broken a little bit off? I might have done when I hammered that in. Oh, we might be in problems here. I got the other bit out, but a little tab has broken off. Right. It's not a big problem because it's wood. I can always use wood glue, but yeah, I think. Oh, right. There's a bit of delamination on the corners there. Right. So I did make a bit of a boo-boo, but I got it back out. But they don't like coming back out, it looks like. Just sorting my spectacles because they are falling off my face. Right, let's give this another go. funnily enough, that one just fell in the hole. Right, where's the other one? Right. So we had a slight problem with that. Is it still going to grip enough to stay in? I think it is because it's a fresh hole. See, as you can see there, where the nubs are there, you've got an obviously bright mark, so I don't know whether I should sort of brush down it all so it all looks kind of the same or not. I don't know. I suppose it gives it the wooden effect, but we've changed the places of where the nubs are, so you've got light bits and dark bits, and I'll probably end up painting it actually. Just for a laugh. Right, okay. 2 more pieces to go. And it's 48 and 47. But what's quite interesting, I'm noting in here, 47 goes on first. And then we've got 48, right? So 47 goes on first, which will take up the last of that hole. The 48 goes on, and that's got dowel holes. Now it's telling you to fit 48 and then hammer cocktail sticks in back to front. What I'm more inclined to do is fit 47, hammer the cocktail sticks through 48, then fit 48, and then slide them on, because I don't think you can really hammer cocktail sticks back to front, and then you cut the end off. So that would be my suggestion. It's showing you at stage 6 to, after you've got the last part on, insert the cocktail sticks, put 47 on, then put the cocktail sticks through 48, then fit 48, and then the cocktail sticks is already in there. That's kind of common sense, I think. Right, so we're looking for 47. People are dropping off to sleep. We're coming up for... Right, I'm going to get this tank finished. And then I think I'll call it quits for the evening. As soon as people are dropping off to bed. I'll try and keep these all about the same size. It is showing 5 people are still viewing. Obviously, one of them will be me. So if there's anybody in there that's still alive, say hello. But my aim for this section is just to finish this fuel tank. Right, so we are going for 47, which is this one. I've got it on the reverse. So there's one here. And there's one here. And there's 2 on the curve. You bad monkeys. There's one. We're getting there though. We are getting there. Right, 47. There was one there. Sorry if I keep knocking the camera. My head's really close to... See if I can steady it up. Are you off, Johnny? Yeah? I'm not going to be on much longer. I'm just going to finish this tank. Oh, sorry, I keep knocking this with my head. I'm just going to finish this off. And then the stream for the night. I just want to get something completed. So tonight I've managed to get both halves of the frame together. And I'm almost done with the fuel tank. So if I can get the fuel tank done, that's been a productive evening. You're still here for now. Right, that's cool. I'll not be on much longer, John. It'll be the usual, another 15 minutes or something like that. But I am making progress. As I say, definitely something to keep you occupied. during these hard times that we're all having. Right, so this one goes on here. Like as so. You can probably see the shape of the inset where the speedo binnacle and that goes. Just level these all up. Yep. Right, now we're going into the bit where it says to do something, and I'm going to do something slightly different. So I need part 48, which is that bit. So there's an up there. And an up there. Come to daddy. There we go. Oh, that one's straight. And then there's a horrible little one in the corner. And another little horrible one in the corner. Flip it over. $48 I'm doing this one. Right, that's a definite click through. So is that one. Tiny bit in the corner. Tiny bit in the corner. That should fall out now. There we go. Yeah, so I'm quite enjoying going live. I'm not too worried if people are tuning in or not, but it's nice to have people in joining me. I know the numbers are dropping off, but I mean, people can watch this at a later date if they want. I can't see them sitting through 3 hours of a live feed, but you know, you've all been keeping me company. That's a big plus, especially when you live alone. Might feel like I'm talking to myself, but somewhere there are people out there. Right, okay, so this is going to go on like that. So I need to put the cocktail sticks through this way. So they give you cocktail sticks in little bags. So roughly in the middle. I've figured out now it doesn't really matter exactly if you're in the middle. But they are bamboo and a little bit awkward to cut. It appears to be that. There we go, 2 little. There's one. There's the other. Oh, put that in it rubbish. So we're, because cocktail sticks aren't perfectly round, I'm just giving them a quick sand. And they advise waxing them before trying to put them through. And I did find that helped last time, so I've just got a little bit of candle wax here. Oops. That I'm going to do a Danielson on. Give them a little bit of wax just to help them go through. Right, so just double checking. This goes that way, and I want the cocktail stick sticking that way. So I need to do number 1 and number 2. And then using the edge of my jeweler's block and holding that like that, I want to drive these in flush. That's flush. That's flush. Move that off to the side. Just check the flush. Oh, maybe a bit too over enthusiastic with the blade there. because there's going to be other parts going in the back of that. And it's quite clever how they mount all that. So that goes in there like that. Just a general tap over to make sure it's all level. So there we go. We've got the tank with 2 cocktail sticks hanging out the back. The way they tell you to do it is fit that bit, then try and tap. Yeah, no. Common sense dictates you put them in first before putting the last couple of bits on. What time are we at? I've only got 2 more bits to go. There's still people watching. Jared said, I'm glad to see you guys are alive and well. Yeah, it was nice seeing you popping in as well, actually. I'm going to attempt to do the last 2 bits. I know that people are all going to their bed and have lost interest now because it's past their bedtime, but I'll try. There's 2 more parts, 49 and 58 by the looks of it. Get these in and then I've got the tank done, almost. So when I do my next one, which I'll... Oh God, that came out in a winner. Wow. Right, okay. Sorry, I stopped talking there because I was concentrating. Right, that's the 2 of them out. Excellent. I'm definitely going to get this tank finished. I'll just give them a bit of a clean up. It'll be cool when this is all done though. Some size of bloody petrol tank, I'll tell you. Well, this is obviously slotted for going over the frame, so I'm just going to give it a bit more of a... So it's not too tight. That one's in a bit of a curve. So is that one? Right, so I've got both of them. That's a smaller one. Okay. Right, here we go. Right. Let's just put some more wax on this to make it go on easier. So we have the bigger piece first. Will it push or will it need a tap? Let's just give it a wee on. And this bit. Okay. Cut the end pieces off. God knows where that went. A little bit of cleanage. Excellent. So that's the full fuel tank assembled. There's one more part to go on. I'm just trying to see where it sits. 51. Up beside the middle of a wheel. Ah, there it is. And that's the beautifully laser etched speedometer panel. Oh, I've just knocked the camera again. Sorry about that, guys. And once this part is installed, that'll be the end of the feed for the evening.
So I'm just checking where there's one there. I should have done it for the back first. It's a lot easier. That's definitely through. One just before the curve, naughty. And one on the curve, naughty, naughty.
Can I get it to pop out? It's out. We're on the final furlong of this part of the episode. A little bit clean up there. On the edge. Not going to see any of this, I don't think, because it press fits into the tank. I don't know if you can make that out there, but it's got a speedo and all that on it. That's an insert. Close that, I don't want that there, thank you. Right, so apparently this just knocks into that. Right, I don't want to damage it, so I'm going to use a bit of wood that is a offcut. Almost. Almost there. That's just slightly out. So there you go. There's a fuel tank with a speedo on the top of it. There you go. That's the fuel tank done, which obviously just sits on top of the main bike like so. So yeah, chuffed for that. Decent bit of progress. What are we on to tomorrow? We're on to starting to do the back end of the bike, which sounds fair enough. So I shall flick back to me so I'll give you a quick look. Angie's just saying, watching while she was drawing out brake discs. Oh yeah, 119 Panigale. I've done one of those. Oh, you're doing a tricolour. It's time for her bed. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I'd like to get another one and do it justice. I built one before I got my airbrush and I did it with rattle cans and all that. And it looks all right, but it's not up to the standard I would build something now. So just to let you guys get a better close up. So there's one side of the frame, all the pistons and things in. And there's the other side, all the gear, wheel and drive. The elastic bandage technology above and below. And the last bit that we were building there was the tank with the speedo and that on top, which obviously locates somewhere on top of the frame like that, giving it its fuel tank. Okay, so it's a substantial little piece of kit. Thank you for joining me in part 3 of the build. Part 4 will be possibly tomorrow night. Yeah, possibly tomorrow night, about the same time, 10:30. My usual sort of insomnia type thing. Thank you very much, one and all who have joined in and had a giggle with me tonight, because I do like a giggle on a weekend. And until the next time, I hope you all stay safe. Enjoy what you're doing. Happy modelling. Until the next time, bye now. Where's the button?